Well, it was bound to happen. I mean, honestly, it's kind of sort of happened multiple times already. But uh, and this kind of comes down to I'm doing a really big project. This is not a small app, in my opinion. I mean, currently it's grown to what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 services. And I'm about to add an 18th. So it's 18 microservices in the background, which aren't all that micro. Aren't all that micro. Yes, some of them. I mean, they all have a specific duty, but that's just the back end. Then you have the front end, which the UI itself has all of its pieces and components. You know, you got the roster management, the gateway management, the game plan management, the simulation, which is only partially built at the moment, and then you've got, you know, the user management. And then there's the back end stuff that's got to go on, the synchronization management, the database management, the all of the little underlying components and parts. You know, I've got my models, my data models, and my data access layers, and then I got my I've got all of my front end layers and objects. I'm trying to keep that all clean and organized. Well, I did it. I hit kind of another, I'll have to say a refactor, but in fact, this was a miscommunication between me and AI. Okay, so early on in this process, uh, I I decided to. I knew in my design plans I wanted to have an offline mode, so the game at least to some extent ran offline, so users would not be bound to having an internet connection. I visualize going camping, being able to pull out your phone, which of course you shouldn't be playing on when you're camping because, you know, you're camping. You're supposed to be out there, you know, enjoying the world. But just for the sake of argument, you're on a long drive somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and you're you're a kid who's not driving. You can't do anything but play your games on your phone. Okay, so it's your entertainment piece. Let's call it that. But either way, you're out. You're not near internet, and you want to play the game. A lot of games, a lot of games won't run offline. Not all of them, but a lot of them. In fact, I'd probably say even a majority of the good ones have only online modes. I don't know how many sports games can run offline and to what extent, but this game is going to have an offline mode that allows you to also play online when you can. Well, the original design was that I was going to synchronize the user data to a light database, which a light DB, which is a mobile database that's great for running with a Unity engine C sharp kind of thing because it's got C sharp interface. And then I was going to use Go Mobile to take my code into a mobile XE that can be put onto whatever system, and so it would run offline. It could basically run all of the same code that I'm developing on the back end on the front end. To a point, you know. So some things will be there, some functionality will be there, some things won't. But for the most part, the idea was that it would handle the different processes just right there on your computer, and it would go and connect to the internet as needed. So synchronizing databases. This would allow for me to do something like an offline first design. So if you have the data you need for what you're about to do, then the game just runs offline. It's going to make it faster, more efficient, more ideal. But I didn't realize that AI was confused or wasn't on the same page as me. And this comes from designing stuff and then kind of letting it sit for months and then coming back and working on it again and trying to work on different parts. Yeah, at this point, you know, it's kind of a given. But anyway, so what ended up happening was I AI or me, I was allowing it to happen because I saw it happening, and I was like, the light bulb didn't go off until today. I was synchronizing to two different databases. So basically, I had three databases, right? I had LightDB for a lot of the stuff getting synchronized, and then apparently for certain functionality, AI was uh, synchronizing to SQLite. And this is because Mongo doesn't have a LightDB interface. So if you're putting functionality onto the mobile device, that functionality needs to reference a database. And for Go to do that, it had to use SQLite. So I ended up having data both in the SQLite database and in a LightDB database, which of course was today it became a problem when I realized that okay, so I would never even realize this was happening until one, I tried to play my game offline and it was like blowing up or something. But also, I noticed I was looking at the Light database and it was storing data really weird. It was pulling the data as it's used in the application, which would normally not be a problem, except sometimes I needed to run I knew I was going to be needing to run my Go code offline and it was going to use that database. But there is no interface for that database. So the Go code had zero chance of being able to implement against LightDB. It can't, there is no Go interface for LightDB. You would have to go through C#, which meant I would have had to rewrite all the code or create some kind of C# implementation that basically I would have had to write code again specifically to run a lot of these functions again. I was like, yeah, well, we're not doing that to run offline. And I knew that I had researched that I could run on a single code base, both offline and online. So I knew it was possible. I just wasn't going that way. And that was my misunderstanding of how things were getting built out. So all the synchronizing, I had mentioned that, I don't know, a couple months ago, in fact, that I had started implementing offline synchronization so that I could run offline. And a lot of it was coming together. Some of it was I was able to access data. So what I was doing was I was pulling the data I needed to be able to read data offline, and it was working. But it wasn't until I noticed how it was storing it that I started talking to the AI and going, okay, wait a minute. Is this going to work with my code? And it starts looking at it and going, oh, dude, you got more problems than you think. That's basically what it said. It said, you got a problem here, man. You've got two databases, one that's used by the Go mobile and one's used by the C#, and that's LightDB. And I'm like, what? That's not good. And I started talking to a Microsoft Copilot, asking it some questions about how this is, what's going to work. And this is like, yeah, you can't run LightDB with Go. So you have to use C#, which meant rewriting code. And I was like, oh, no. So here I am refactoring all my offline functionality. I don't have a lot of functionality. I was just syncing data. So I need to get that synchronization recorrected. And honestly, in doing the research, I've come to the conclusion that it's actually going to be a lot better than the way it was going with LightDB. Because really all it's going to be then is a much simpler. I create the code in the back end, so I don't have to rewrite any back end code, or like that was the plan. It'll automatically update to the offline modes whenever I do a deploy. So basically the compiled XE or whatever will be pulled onto the system at each resync. And then it'll do a synchronization of data, which will call basically the function on that, and it'll go and say, all right, let's go get the data and pull up the synchronization from the database. all of it kind of behind the scenes, using this new service I just spoke of. I just spoke of using, creating an 18th microservice, which is going to be my sync manager. So I basically had to start replanning how that's going to happen. It doesn't really stop me from moving forward with some of my regular functionality, which is what I'll be doing over the next couple of days, where I get game plan working, get some other things working. I just won't be able to do any offline synchronization stuff until I get that stuff in place. I did go through and I worked with Claude, and we've come up with a new plan for how to restructure, reorganize, flatten this out, clean up the database situation on the front end or on the offline mode. Once that's re-implemented, I can then start once again with the offline mode stuff. But ultimately, yeah, I need to get, and I think it's going to be better, because I knew there was some strangeness about how it was referencing, and I was thinking it was just the way it was, maybe it's just because it's light DB, because I don't know. This is what happens when you try to build a gigantic application knowing nothing of the various parts and architecture. If it wasn't for AI, I would not even be where I am. AI's informed me of a lot. I've learned a ton. I see now how things are structured. I'm starting to see it all come together. And a lot of this is learning that comes that I probably could have only learned at the point at which I'm at, where I'm actually trying to implement that stuff. Because before it was conceptual. I want to be able to do this, but I have nothing to actually do it with. So I had no idea what the right way to do it was, or how I was going to structure that. Now that I've got stuff, my own coding experience is saying, well, we need to flatten it out this way. I need to take these pieces, need to do this. And now it's got like my database, my database is now building up to being a solid size database. As you can see, I've got not a ton of collections, but I will have more in time. But currently, I've got, 30 here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yeah, about 30, a little over 30, close to 35 collections. And I'll be adding more, because I have to get all of the, I have collection players and collection plays and all that stuff. So a lot of it's there, but there'll be features and stuff that I need to add into. My simulation stuff is probably going to add some amount. I'll probably have some amount of stats. Player stats actually goes into this table here. So it won't be a ton more, but I say that until I get to those points. But I've constantly created new collections on multiple occasions. It's stabilizing. I visualized a lot of this stuff existing way back when it created, and only recently have I finally started to make every one of my parts have things to do. $144. You mean 1440? Or are you doing this on a phone? Are you actually watching this on? Not even then, it would be more than 144. You can't do 144. Is 144 even a thing? That's really, what are you just running it in in a thumbnail? I don't know what you're doing. That's pretty small, man. But anyhow, so there you go, man. That's impressive. I don't know what 144p is, but I'm guessing it's not big. I don't have it very, I don't have it huge. I am using a big monitor, which of course probably makes it even tinier for you. It's probably just a splot of space. Because I'm using a giant monitor with not very big text. For me, it's big text, but when you shrink it down to like a normal size viewing. Okay, I believe you, I guess. I didn't know you, I thought maybe it's yeah, it would be, I would imagine. It would be too tiny to function off of. But anyway, there you go. There's my situation. You can see I've kind of started rebuilding. So anyway, yeah, I have to go through and start implementing the plan. And so I told it to, research all the parts that need to be fixed. So, I don't know if I should be insulted by that. So what are you saying, man? I mean, there's a big difference between 144p and like 1080p. You don't have to go to high def, which is what, 2K, 2048 or 4000. That's 4K. I mean, there's a huge difference just going to a normal size. I'm right now on my screen. I have it showing in a 1080, and I'm in a pretty small screen to begin with. So I'm only in the bottom corner of the screen. So you would have to get pretty big for me to be a big part of the screen. And honestly, I could probably make mine even smaller. If people said I was too much in the way, I would shrink it. Oh, hold on. Let's go see what Taco Time's doing. Dun, dun, dun. We'll see what Taco Time's deal of the day is. Maybe I can go get me a dollar taco somewhere, or a dollar burrito. Who knows? It's almost crunch time. Ooh, it's a crunch, a chalupa supreme for just $1. Woohoo! I'll take that. I want a chalupa supreme. I have to wait till 2 o'clock, but I always have my, just in case I have to log in. I always give myself a minute, because it used to be that they were doing this thing where you had to do a claim reward, and basically you had like 2 seconds to claim it. Now it's back to you have to actually purchase it right out the gate. So which keeps it from becoming dumb, where you have no chance to get it in time. What is it? Drop going live. Oh, we're back to being able to claim it in advance, and I did. Congrats, you claimed your reward. Yes, I get me a $1 chalupa. Well, it says I did. So I guess we'll see. Well, I guess we'll see. It says I did, but it's not showing up on my rewards. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's dumb. But at least I tried. I don't usually work too hard at it. Okay. You don't. How come it's what? I don't know. Why isn't it just default? All right, man. You have a good day too. What is Rakiti, Karama? I don't know what that is. Well, let's see. It's not a raft. Rakit means raft. Rakiti, colloquial Spanish slang. Boom, zap, pow. Is that what you're saying? You're saying boom. Is that what you're saying, Karama? It's a rakiti. Rakiti. Or is that even? It's an emphasis. So, if it's boom, it'd be like rakiti. That's a lot of syllables for a boom. Zap. Rakiti. Rakiti. Pow. Rakiti. 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 That's a lot of syllables. Boom, zap, and pow are one syllable. They're easy to say. Boom, pow, zap. It's more like a memish onomatopoeia. All right. Well, I think I know what it is now. I think. I mean, you're not big on correcting me, so I don't know if I am right or not. All right. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and continue forward. And what I may do is disable my offline syncing right now because I don't think any of it's functional. And I think I just want to stop it for now. I'm just going to go here. Whatever this guy's doing. Yeah, these are all just broken. So I don't know how to see get response header. Send a request and process response. So this is the API handler, not the API router. Okay, so let's see what we've got running. I don't know if it's going to let me. I've got things going on. My AI is hard at work right now. I've got like multiple AI agents. Like I have boat tons of AI agents running right now. I'm probably going to max out my Claude here in a minute. I guess I should probably go see what my state of the Claude is. Still haven't been able to develop my state of the game. I was getting so... Wait, get 2 times more usage on weekends. And outside the hours of 5 to 11 a.m. Pacific time and 12 to 6 p.m. GMT. Really? On weekdays. 5 to 11 a.m. Is that it? That's actually pretty small. Now through March 28th. Nice. Wow, 28th is only, well, it's 11 days. Heck, I could get a ton done in that. I should maybe make sure I hit it. Just... So on weekends, and then outside of the hours of 5 to 11 a.m., that's only like a 6-hour window. It's like, that's easy McPeasy, man. There's a lot of time in there. So does that mean I'm running on extra time right now? Apparently I owe 6 cents because I went over by 6 cents. This is a doubling. I don't know. I feel like this is going to go up really fast. But it resets in 2 hours and 47 minutes. But doubling the usage is massive. That's did my voice just crack? Am I gonna? It's massive, massive, massive. That is some serious massiveness. Okay, we're gonna see what this does. How much am I really getting? That much more? It feels that seems like a lot, and it says I'm at 16%. I don't feel like I'd be at 16% because I just kicked it off to do new stuff. So I guess we're gonna find out how quickly I managed to overwork this thing. All right, let's go. Gateway League's user ID was Corey Prime. Wait. Oh, are we actually on the right thing? We are cranking here. Are we running? I don't think we're running anything, right? Oh, you know what? I need to shut this guy down. I'm probably not going to be using that anymore. LightDB was interesting for the 2 seconds I had it on my system, but now we're dumping it. It just resulted in me having to rebuild everything, and I have no desire to do that. Some snacks. Popcorn. I'm all out of snacks. I've killed my snacks. Oh, I got it. Be right back. So apparently I made the mistake this weekend of introducing my daughter to my spicy cheddar beef snack. They're so good. It's basically a strip of cheese and one of these like beef sticks, but they're smaller. I mean, they can be longer, but we have smaller ones. I had several of them, and I had her try it. So I gave her one to try. She goes, "Oh, those are really good." And she apparently ate my last one or two that were in the fridge. Oh well. It's a good snack. So I decided to grab me a cheese stick and a chomp. You're like, okay. Like, why are you telling me this? I feel like you need to know. Like, no, I don't. So I've been trying to get rid of these errors that have shown up. They're Unity errors. Unity's putting junk on my system, and I have not been able to get them to go away. I mean, I don't know how to get rid of them. I updated. I wanted to remove it, right? I wanted to remove the generators, which you can. They don't. I took AI off of my Unity because it's dumb. It doesn't work. It's worse than, I mean, Bezzy, which isn't even a Unity. It's an extension written by a third-party company. Is way better. All right, so we're going to find out what this does when this is done. See, I wanted to get rid of this. You can't like just remove it. See, remove is not an option. But it's also out of date. So I could theoretically update it. Or at least I was able to. See, I could update. You can't like get rid of it though. I can install that. These are all nope. I don't even know what this does. What does this do? Oh, interesting. I feel like if I'm stuck with this and there's no getting rid of it, this should probably... What if I just dump that? I feel like that'd be risky. Let's at least make it up to date. I don't like this, but I'm going to update it. Maybe that'll get rid of the console. If I remove it, I still end up with the old one. If I don't update it, I have the old one, and the old. It's like my options are the old one or the new one. There's not like an option of none. You can't remove it. Stupid raisin. Bet the air will go away when I do that. Time is it? All right, 20 minutes for this session. All right, so what I'm going to try and do is, once this is updated, see if this fixes the dumbness. So my Christmas gift arrived. Dark Knights of Steel. This is the DC universe in medieval times. It's kind of interesting. So everybody's like, as though they lived in a, in the old world. I'd say King Arthur's day. I think there was even a mention of King Arthur or something. Somebody before. I don't know. I thought there was. Maybe not. Maybe I'm hallucinating. But so the premise is that really it comes around Superman, right? So Krypton blows up, but instead of them sending their kid, they all came. In fact, Jor-El and his wife, I can't remember Kal-El's mom's name, but his mom and dad actually came to Earth in a pod. She was pregnant, and when they arrived, she had the kid, and she was having the child when they crash landed on Earth, and somebody attacked him, and he was like, they didn't want to. They came thinking they were coming to take over or something. I don't know what they were thinking, but of course, Jor-El killed everybody. But it was in self-defense, and there was no real repercussions to that because, he didn't really do anything, and they were all wiped out, so nobody knew, I guess. But they were part of a kingdom called the Steelmen, which I think is because they wear steel armor all the time, which is not something the other factions wear because it's Wonder Woman's group, the Amazonians. They don't need armor. But the Steelmen are humans, mostly all human, so they wear a lot of armor. And then, and I don't know who all of the characters are in the Steelmen. A lot of the characters I don't know. Like there's the Amazonian with the women, and then there's this one group they call the who's the other group? They're actually the troublemakers. Okay, so you got the House of Al, who actually are ruling kingdom, their own kingdom. There's like 3 kingdoms right now that I've seen. No, there's 4. There's the Metal Men, the Storm Kingdom, the Amazonians, and the Als, the House of Al, which is really, it was just a mortal kingdom. It was the Waynes, Batman's parents, that actually ruled prior to the Als ruling. And I guess they were really good friends. The parents are all really good friends. And unfortunately, Wayne Sr. couldn't have kids. And Jor-El had an affair with, this was not because he couldn't have kids, by the way, but Jor-El had an affair with Bruce Wayne's mom. And so basically Bruce Wayne, Batman, is a bastard of Jor-El and his human wife, or human affair. And they were all good friends. And the thing is, as she became pregnant as a result of that, it was a mega problem. It was an emotional problem between the two, the 4. But I guess all was forgiven, and the Waynes raised Bruce as their own kid, and Jor-El was, once, and they were killed, not by them, but by I forgot. They did say something happened to them though. They got killed. Oh yeah, they were attacked by by the Metalmen, I think, and they were killed. They were trying to kill. They were going after the L's. They wanted to kill them, but they ended up killing the Waynes. And so the L's raised him and treated him, like a son. But they didn't tell him he was their son. But they found out that he had actually a lot of Superman's powers, not all of them, but he served them as kind of like their Black Knight. And he was, like the best. And of course, he's older than, I think he was older than, I don't know how that works. How was he older than? He must aged faster. Because he's like a full-grown adult. And Kal-El is still like a teenager. So he must age slower? Because Kal-El would have been older, right? Because they landed in... Now that I think about it, that's kind of weird. But ultimately, so Batman, or Bruce Wayne, is looking out for Jor-El in a lot of cases. Tries to protect him because that's his thing. And he does... But he's informed that he is a son of Jor-El and was just raised by his mom and dad because of this affair. And immediately after informing him, Jor-El is killed. So by the way, the spoilers, it's like, if you're interested in this comic, don't listen to me. And as a result, all hell's starting to break loose. Everybody's going nuts. Zara-El, which I didn't even know who that was. Zara-El is apparently a sister of Kal-El. And apparently she's got a thing with Wonder Woman. So they're a couple. Kinda. I guess. I mean, when Zara found out, she left the Amazonian Empire to come and do something about it. And she's the one wreaking havoc right now in the comic that I'm reading. But when she left, she gave a big old smack on the lips to Wonder Woman. So I'm guessing they were a thing. And that's how I see it. And Zara's kind of went crazy. I mean, she's not crazy, but she's killed a lot of people right now in kind of revenge for her father. It's interesting, though, but apparently the Owls are not invincible all over, because unlike the Superman movie where a bullet hit Brandon Routh right in the eyeball and bounced off, apparently arrows don't bounce off their eyes, because Jor-El was killed by an arrow in the eye, shot by the Green Man, who is apparently Green Arrow. And they hate magic, and they hate the Owls because they're from... Well, no, the Owls hate magic because apparently it's bad. And that's why, because I think this arrow was infused by magic. And it was able to... Because of the magic, it was able to penetrate his eyeball. I'm guessing if it was just a regular arrow, wouldn't have done anything. But now everybody's mad at each other, and it's getting to be a big, hectic thing. It's going to be a big war. I'm only like a quarter of the way through the whole thing. Maybe a third. I don't know. So that's a pretty good story. It's interesting. Have I used up all my time yet? I should probably get back to work. I got lots to do today. Not just this, but lots and lots and lots of stuff. So we'll just have to keep plugging away here. Did I get rid of the message? Maybe. I guess I'll just run. What do we got? Oh, I can't run until I load these back up. You know, people probably looking at me going, this dude is just vibe coding. Kinda. No, no. I can't even call it vibe coding. Yes, I'm letting AI do a lot of the coding. But, okay, truly what vibe coding is I give you commands, you do it, I accept it. If I don't like it, I tell you, you fix it. Which is borderline what I'm doing, but the difference is I actually frequently go in, reference the code, and realize that AI is stupid. There's the difference. I'm using coding experience to actually make the app do it correctly. So I restructure stuff. I do refactor. There is a lot of that. It's a little bit of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes I'm lucky and I get 3 or 4 steps forward and 1 or 2 steps back. Just depends on what it is and how good of pieces I build it in. I'm learning that you can only build in pieces with AI. Don't try to build everything because it won't work. It'll be a mess. Trust me, it'll be an absolute disaster. If I try to create all 8, if I knew in advance what these 18 services were going to be, and I could lay them all out exactly as they are right now and tell AI what I wanted, it would have been a total disaster. It would have been a garbage heap of poop. So I know this because to get where I am, I went through a lot of garbage heaps of poop. So it's a foregone conclusion that AI is incapable of doing large things all at once. It would have just been, it would have lost track of everything it was doing. It would have just been building things, and it would have been a crazy thing. So right now I'm building it in chunks using a lot of documentation. I tell it to build docs for the next step or phase, implement in pieces. Then I go through and look, and generally I'm on top of it. But as today proves, I missed something. And it took me a couple months of actually implementing to realize AI was doing two things at once. I would say implement this, and it would implement one here and one here. And I didn't realize that things are getting implemented in multiple locations. I'm like, until I realized one of those locations looked screwy. And I was like, why is this, how is this going to work? And then it goes, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean, blah, 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 blah? That blah, 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 blah should not be there. That should not exist. Rewrite, clean that up. Now, keep in mind, this isn't like a restructure. I know I said disaster. It's disaster for the offline mode. I was diverging on the offline mode to the, and that part kind of went, it's like building this nice clean road, and now we're saying, hey, let's build a parallel branch here, go offline. And this one went, meanwhile, on the straight line, it's working. I'm getting that going. It's cleaning up. It's working good. I'm not losing anything, not having to rebuild any functionality other than the offline stuff. It's just how that data is getting stored. And once that restructures into a more cohesive process, I will have a better offline mode that'll allow me to do much more with my application. So, and it'll be cleaner. It's going to be way better than LightDB. I wasn't liking LightDB. I thought it was like the best solution. I thought, well, if it builds the database right, we're good. But then I found out it's inaccessible by Go, and it's like, oh, yeah. So, and also, it was using the wrong Go mobile interface. Apparently, SQLite and mobile applications, it was using SQL 3, which apparently doesn't work for SQLite and Go mobile. I needed to swap that over to using SQLite and Modern C org, I don't know, whatever. It's a different Go system, but it's just a different driver it's going to use. So hopefully it's much cleaner. And and this is me learning. Okay. So AI is telling me what's plausible. And then I go do some basic Google stuff and look up what people say about this, that, or the other thing. And I look at what other games are doing to say, okay, well, how are they doing it? And some companies just do their own thing. They just go, screw it. We're going to use our own offline code or offline database structure, and they're just going to do their own thing. I'm not doing that. I'm not building my own stuff. A lot of it is flat documents. It's just paper. It's basically just a flat file that it's reading off of, and it just formats it in its own way. A lot of it is JSON. It's just what is the tools it's using to read that JSON. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and run this. Oh, wait, I have to start up my current processes. Well, actually, it's wiring up. It's doing some Unity stuff. It's probably going to break my... I won't be able to run until I get that built. You know what I could be doing while I'm letting this work? I didn't even think about it. Let's go to, see, I feel like that's not double. I mean, I guess it could be double. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, it says I get double tokens right now, right? Anything after 5 to 11 a.m.? Anything outside of 5 to 11 a.m.? I mean, in 2 hours, I'm going to get it back. But I feel like for all I'm making it do, what is today, Tuesday? I'm definitely going to hit my weekly limit. That weekly limit's not even. So normally when I fill this, when did it start this? Did it say? Cloud Mushroom updated yesterday. So it started yesterday. Doubles usage limits for Claude users outside 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Time on weekdays. And so today. Oh, good. Started the sync manager correctly. 5-hour usage is doubled during off-peak hours. On weekdays. Usage remains unchanged from 5 a.m. to... Yeah, see, like this time in the morning, I'm fine with that. It's like so if I get up at 5 o'clock, kick it off, 5 hours later is 10, then I get more going into the afternoon. So it's like, it's better to work in the afternoon. That's what they're saying. Stop working in the mornings. Claude, web, desktop, and mobile. Cowork, Claude Code, Claude for Excel, Claude for PowerPoint. So yeah, I have Claude. I'm using Claude Code, I think. Yeah, this whole thing is going in Claude Code right there. Huh. I think it's cool. I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, you would wonder, are they just being nice? I have a hard time believing they're being nice. They must have some reason. I mean, I guess, but I mean, like these companies, they need money, right? So if everything is so expensive to do, you would think they would not want to be giving away the processing. So says me. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be some. Like, are they trying to? I don't know. See what the effect is. Gather some data of giving people more access. I wonder if they're doing it to determine if time-based tokens would be practical. If they can get people like they give you more tokens during certain hours, so they could distribute the load on their systems. So they're going to see how much pulling people off of those morning points is helpful to their application. But like if you're doing like Claude Max and you're getting like a bajillion tokens, then you double that in the afternoon. It's like, why wouldn't they just, people wouldn't change their coding habits. They would just do their morning stuff and then do more stuff in the afternoon. So I'm guessing you're going to get the same 15% hit against your weekly. Well, it's about 15% for me when I hit, when I'm working on the back end stuff. All right, so let's go see about creating a couple of images, shall we? So I need more coaches. So in order for me to do that, let's go to FPFM here. I only have like a couple. And the more I can get into the system, the better. I have a lot of things that aren't set. So yeah, the other day I was like, you know what? This icicle giant doesn't look right. This guy. And I was like, you know, let's go update him. So I went and updated him to look a lot better. He looks way better now. Okay, so I have him somewhere. Where is he at? Okay, I know you're here, Mr. Ice Giant. This thing should not be here. Ice Giant. Alright, so I gotta take some stuff out here. Roaches. I don't know where my ice giant went. I renamed him, but now he's gone. Doesn't exist anymore. Am I staring right at him? Oh, there he is. Okay, so this was the before. And then this. Is the after. Way better, right? A lot cleaner, much cooler model. And then I found out I changed the name of that team. They don't exist anymore. So the Ice Giants don't even exist anymore. I was like, don't. So now I'm like, okay, I have to go back and start over. So I need to get some guys made that don't exist. And so for me to do that, basically I need to go down my list, which is to say I need to go phase 2 complete. Okay, full rewrite, all 28 SDK methods with Android edit mock platform guards, new file version check, binary download. Okay, fully rewritten, public method, null, return default false through to LightDB. 3-step init, SDK update check, API handler, local.initialize, Como SDK sync offline data, API routing setting .cs, remove LightDB initialized, API routing setting removed, LightDB initialized plus LightDB check, added SDK version display, updated routing statistics, startup progress bar. So is there a VS Code so I have mobile. I think this is the one. Mobile sync. All this stuff is my mobile functionality, I guess. Um, I'm guessing that is the local mobile AI. I don't know. I'll have to ask. I'll have to see what that is. Let's see what this looks like. Playbook.go. Get all plays. Upsert plays from sync. Oh, this might be my my synchronization processes. Save lead player. Hmm. I think I need to put in some instructions. Okay. So anyway, my very cool ice giant was to be tossed. So what I need to do is go into my system init here and check out my teams. And then I need to go up here to my... I created a new service that's actually handling the administration or distribution of my images now. It's all in the static service. So when a system needs something, it's going to get it from the static service. This is where all of my images and crap go. And it's just because it's easier to track them this way. So I decided to go with that. So I have coaches. As you can see, I only have the arachnids, the arachnids, alpha pigs, and the scorned. And apparently none of the above has gotten drafted. Actually, I did have the alpha pigs got drafted, their coach, but then when I did it again, they were unavailable. So I have nobody in the group. So what I need to do is create some more so I have a better chance. What I really need to do is go down the line and just find out who doesn't exist. So I got the giant canines here, and I kind of want to expand the teams. So like I have the logos here. The giant canines would be the blee, so they exist. And then we have the and what about the... Do I have the player? Giant... Oh, they exist too, giant canines. Okay, so we've got all three of the key images. I don't have models for everybody yet. Only a few of them have models. I think I only have 2 models, actually. I have the V-Born Scorned and the Titan Reapers. So I should probably... I think the Titan Reapers exist here. I should just go down the line. Let's do the Browns. All right, the Clown Labs. So it's Dre. ABC. So the Dre logo exists, and the Clown Labs players exist. So let's go find the Clown Labs player. Who I'm using is probably a pretty lame version of him, honestly. I don't like this version because he's not in a good pose. That's him, but he's in a bad pose. So I probably need to fix that. Let's see if I can. Let's see how well I could get. AI has been doing pretty good with that lately, so we will give it a chance to clean this up for me. So we'll go over play types. Are these system reference data like plays, formations that should be synced once, startup, or online only? Play types are used during game plan. And I believe UI references the list, so we need see. But startup should fine. Not application process. Not once a startup should be fine. They won't update. else we got? Let's see. It's asking me key information. Huh. So I'm a little stumped on this next thing. So every team has 52 players. I want to be able to allow quick plays when a player is offline. But in order to do quick plays when a player is offline, I need to capture that's going to be interesting. Now, I may not be able to do it that way. I may only allow them to quick play against their own league. Because I'm thinking there's too many things that could be altered, changed, tweaked, broken. There'd be too much conflict. Because like if the AI team decides to, if the coach changes their game plan, maybe you don't sync back coach game plan changes. We just ignore those. But the game itself can be ran. There's no reason why we can't do that. It just won't use those. It's just going to use whatever the snapshot is. Huh. All right, what else do they got here? Player contracts needed offline or online only. All right, what else we got? Player contract, offline league creation. So if I want to have offline league creation, So the last question is offline league creation. I would kind of like to be able to create leagues offline. But I think for now, I mean, really, the only thing stopping me is putting the default coaches. I'd have to put the default coaches and the player pool. The default coaches and the player pool. And the default teams. Player contracts. Salary contract data needed offline or online only. Should make all right, so this is going to be, I'm going to number these so I'm on the same. This is 2. Four is the data is there and the Go code is the same. It will just be creating a UI interface. Same, it would just be alerting the user. It would just be a matter of limiting user to AI only. You know, I got this mat. Really cool Superman mat. Got it for my birthday. It's one of those desk mats. And it's white. Well, with Superman who's blue, and then it's all like almost like hand-drawn background, like the cityscape. And I'm trying not to put anything on it that can get it dirty. Food-wise, I mean, what can I do about dust? You can't do anything about dust, right? Dust is going to land. It's going to seep in. What do you do? I mean, there's absolutely nothing I can do. So I'm doing everything I can to stay. Look, somehow I got crumbs in the middle of it. How did I do that? But it's really, it's only a month old, and of course it looks perfect right now. But I don't eat over it. I thought apparently I do. I've gotten something on there, and there's crumbs coming off my roof. But I put like all of my food and drink way off to the side. And I've already spilled a couple of things on it, tiny little drops of stuff. Because, I'm messy with my drink when I pour my cans of stuff in. And I did it off, but it overflowed and splashed onto the thing. So I had a couple of splashes, and I'm like, no, dabbing it up. So right now, I've stained a dot on there. You can't see it unless you get the light on it, but it's annoying. So that sucks. But anyway, it's hard to keep things clean. That's all I'm saying. Even when you're consciously doing it. Hopefully I answered all those questions, but right now it's building up the whole synchronization functionality. It's going to make a big difference. I think this is going to make things so much simpler. So much simpler. I feel like it just in my head, it feels so much less convoluted than the way I was doing it before. Where I was trying to get data and sync data and get data and sync. All I have to do is run a sync process now, and it just puts all the data where it's supposed to be. So it's a lot of the same thing. I mean, it needs to have conflict checks, and hopefully I'll get all that stuff built in. Hopefully it's converting the stuff it's already doing. It's what it said it's doing. So hopefully if it converts it correctly, it will have considered all of the conflict checking that I need. Because offline mode loses. Okay, so if say I update the default data before you come back, that default data is going to overwrite whatever you have on your machine. But you don't change default data anyway. So the offline mode is never going to have a problem with that. The problem comes if the user tries something so in offline mode, your AI only teams, what I may have to do is when you're online, if there is a mark that you've gone offline with your it's like if your mobile device has gone offline, like say you have an offline version of the game, like you're running on a mobile device and then you're on the PC, I want it to know that it's lost connection and require you to connect your mobile device. I think that's what I'm going to do. All you have to do is turn on the game on your mobile device because it was, say, disconnected from the server for just kind of as a protector against overwriting data, And the thing is, what I can do is I can call it some kind of I'll call it, what do you call it? Two-factor authentication. So I'll disguise it as two-factor authentication. You have to turn on your app to run it on the PC. You have to run it on your mobile before you can run it on your PC. And it's only because it now knows you have a PC version, and what it's going to do is use that opportunity to synchronize your data. And this will make sure that no shenanigans are going on. What I mean by shenanigans is if you play in an offline mode and you lose, so So you go play it on your PC and you play it again and it doesn't know that you played it and lost and it generates it and you're like, oh darn, I won the second time. I guess I lost my data on my phone. It's like, no, we're not going to be doing that nonsense. Um, so I think I will have something like that. So if you have a mobile device that's running the game, it's going to record that and says, you know, there's an offline. This user's running an offline variation, offline version. AI 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 only leagues will not work until you've synchronized it with your phone. So basically, you got to turn on your phone. I'm really gonna try and block people from trying shenanigans. You know, oh, I don't like the way that game went. I'm gonna fix it. Let's go do this thing I was gonna do. All right. I know I'm over my time. I got to go get other stuff done too. So I'm currently running on 2 hours almost. That is a bit much, but where's the pups? Oh, are they in here? All right. So we're gonna take this guy. Sure, we'll take that one. I need you to generate this same character. This same football character in a more expose. Put a helmet under. So, holding a helmet under his arm. And up. Change his background highlight color from the current off-white / yellow to white. Let's see what it does. Let's see how well it can redraw this guy. It'd be the same guy, just a little bit more casual sideline vibe. Yeah. It's kind of funny though. You see it drawing it, which is kind of cool. You can kind of see what's happening. But oftentimes, if it's anywhere within the blur that you see, it may not be that when it's done. It has to totally scale. And then finally, when it's finished, it could look even more different. I don't know if I like the way that's doing that. I want the white highlights, but I don't know if I like the white outline. It does have a weird white outline. I'll keep it for now. I think it's okay. I think it's going pretty good. These are the Clown Labs, by the way. They are, I forgot what their full name is. This will work. Perfect. Good job, AI. All right, let's go do another one. Actually, I need a coach too. All right, so I'll download that one. Perfect. Now, can you give me the same species of character, but dressed as a coach? No outline. Just use dynamic lighting. Perfect. I can change him up a little. Like maybe give him some spots or slight color variation. Thank you. Let's see. Different. Like you might see in different dogs of the same breed. Let's see what they do. Okay, so this guy's a dog, obviously, right? So he's a clown lab. But I want to see what it does about giving me some variation. So I asked for a coach that looks like he could be from the same race of creatures, but with, you know, slightly different hairstyles in his skin. So we'll see what it does. Because we are going for a coach this time. So, at the gym today, I'm gonna go off the topic again. I went and I boxed. I finally was able to box again. My foot's been recovering slightly. It didn't fix the white lines. That's not great. Oh well, what can I do about that? Oh, things, whatever it's got on the screen right now looks broken. So I think we might be going off track here. Yeah, what? What? That's not even... Wait, what? Dude. It says... Dude. It's like, what did you just do? All you did is give me the same guy. It ignored my text. It did give it some spots. I think that's the only difference. Yeah, gave him some spots. I'll keep it. It is kind of cool, but you missed the rest of the text I gave you of the requests I gave you. One. There is still a white outline. Just want the dynamic lighting. Two. Imagine character as a coach. Of the team. There are things that AI doesn't quite understand, and especially when I don't know how to type, because I go, there's still a white outline, there's no T. I'm sure it figures that one out. But I just and the dynamic lighting on the character, that's supposed to be want. I don't know what the heck I was typing there. I just want the dynamic lighting. I don't know what I typed. Ain. I don't know, man. My hands were not in sync with my brain right there. But so now he's rewriting him as a coach. So I'm trying to see what he's going to do. Okay, that's better. Now we at least have a coach going. It did seem to kill the outline. That's better so far. It's it's got a little bit of the dynamic lighting. It's not white, but I can live with that. Now that's assuming it stays like it is, because it is possible it goes off the track. Oh, plus I wanted the bust, but you know what? That's fine. I might keep him as is, and then I'll just bust him myself. I didn't really want him to be holding a helmet, though. Why is he holding a helmet? He's got a keyboard. He's got a playbook or a clipboard and a helmet in his arm. It's good. I don't think it knows what to do with his arm. And what do I want to do with his other thumb? With his other hand? I don't know what to do with it, but let's see what it reimagines. I'm giving him some room. It's not a bad one. I could always just... I don't want the helmet, though, because why is the coach holding a helmet? I usually only do coaches with the bust. I only want the top part. And I don't know what I'm going to do with his arm. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess he doesn't have... I mean, I really don't want him to be thumbs up in it. Thumbs up in it. I could just cut it off right here and call that the bust. But I need to get rid of the helmet. Now what? It's going to have a weird clipboard over here, it looks like. I said remove the helmet, so it dumped everything. Okay, that's based on what I see, though. I mean, it could... A lot of times the blur is like... See, now it's... Okay, now it's moving it on. Oh, wait. Hey, now we got a pointer. Haha, he's a pointer. Of course, a dog that's a pointer. He's a clown lab. Labs aren't pointers, but I'll take it. Besides, I might just cut it off. That works. I'll take it. I'll take it. This is functional. Yep. So that gives me a coach for the clown labs. Perfect. All right, so we're going to take that one down. Is it done? Yep, he's good. So we'll open this up. And let's say Clown Labs Coach. And then Let's do an AI thing with this. We're going to remove the background. It works. And then I'm going to do a quick chop. Let's see if I just, what happens if I just do that? I mean, otherwise I have to do this. What? What, it cropped without, what? It cropped and then, there you go, that was weird. It like, it crops whether you like it or not. Yeah, see, the thing is, that's going to be a bit much. What if I just do that? What if I do it from the bottom? I like it. Yep, I like it. Let's do it. We're going to save that one. File, save as, PNG. And we're going to go to the Clown Labs. And we'll take it over here. And I don't like this format, so we're going to say large icons. And we'll just save it as that. Okay, and then I want to do the same thing with, let's go with this one. See, this guy looks way better without the outline. I think I may even have it redo the other one. This just looks so much better without that border. I tried it. I'm gonna go. I have to ask you specifically. The reason I don't go and remove this like in Photoshop or something is because it's really a pain in the rear to effectively remove the outline in Photoshop or any image editing program. It just, if I can get the AI to be smart enough to just remove it, then I want to do that because it just looks so much cleaner without that white line, and it just looks, I don't know, it's just more pleasing to the eye. The only reason you need, well, I mean, I'm not even sure why you would need an outline. it makes him pop more in some circumstances, but it also just looks strange. It's like it's not the character. It's like the character is. Oh, look, see how much better that looks? It's just so much better without the white line. Just looks just better in all ways. Now the only reason I have a string hanging off. Now the only reason I have a oh look, it turned him into a coach. I hope when I say the original image, it's not going, oh, let's grab the original image. It goes all the way back to my first image. Which might not be so bad in this case, because I think it's just this guy. Yeah, so the original image is this one. So if it does go all the way back, at least it'll be looking at the right thing. No, I didn't say lighting style. Okay, good. I thought it was going to replace my lighting style. Okay, so I think we're good now. Well, assuming it puts his football pads back. Okay, so yeah, we're good. Oh, but now he's got a headset. What the heck, dude? I might be able to remove that though, because it's only a tiny little piece. I think I could probably remove that. That shouldn't be too hard, I hope. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and download this, and we'll go back over here, and then we'll say AI actions, remove background with paint. And then it's not bad. Now we got to remove an object though. What else can we remove? Can we remove an object? Oh, we will clip this down. It's got to be kind of square though, because my images. They won't load quite right if they're not square. I don't know how do I force this to be square? Is there a way to? Is there a cropping that lets me use square? This is paint, so it's not as good. It is rectangle right now, but that's... Yeah, there's no... No way to force a square. It is 953 by 965 though, so I wonder if I can. Let's see, what do I want to 65? All right, there you go. That's pretty square. That's about as square as it can get. 941 by 941. It's not the exact dimensions of what you might like to see, but it'll work. Save as PNG. And we'll call him Clown Labs Codes. All right, and then we will pull these guys into my. We will open this up, and I've noticed that all of my guys, all of my stuff, has to be lowercase. This is the rule of the way Linux works. I'm not using Linux, but apparently, if I use Docker, at least that's what AI told me. It says if you're using Docker, you can't do. That's better. Oh, I forgot to remove the stupid that thing. And Mike is stupid. He's all mic'd up. he's the mic'd up player of the week. So, but yeah, we got to remove that. Darn garnet. Let's see. Let's see. If I click on this and then right click on it again. Okay, AI actions. Is there a remove object? Visual search. Erase objects. Photos can erase objects. Okay. Photos is garbage when it comes to erasing objects, by the way. It is just the worst. But I'm hoping that this is tiny enough that it might not be too terrible. But it is not good. See, when it erases it, it doesn't even try to put the background in. It just takes the object off, turns it into a black spot. It's just like the area or object erased. That's garbage. I'm not going to be able to keep that. So we'll try a different tool. I do have a different tool. I actually have one that is way smarter. Now, Designer is actually pretty decent, but unfortunately, you got to pay for it. It comes with Office, and you can't just buy it separately. You have to, if you want to use Designer, Microsoft's Designer, you have to. I have other things to open with. And honestly, it's probably, I haven't tried to remove an object with Designer, but you have very limited usage, and it'll remove backgrounds pretty good. But actually, it looks like the background eraser tool or whatever it used does a pretty good job. Paint, I guess, removes it pretty well. I didn't even know you could remove backgrounds with. Now, my Paint Shop Pro is old, and honestly, it's not great at object removal either. No, eraser tool. So like the eraser tool has background eraser. I don't even know what tool to use. I don't even know if maybe this one can't do it either. I don't know what's a good tool. Okay, that's not going to work. I mean, I can delete it, but I want something smarter. And then I get this a lot. Update it. I can upgrade it to 2023. I mean, we're in 2026 now. Why on earth would I upgrade to a 3-year-old version? I don't want 2023. Have they not updated? Why am I using Paint Shop? Because it's a lot cheaper than Photoshop. Oh, and I brought the wrong Clown Lab in. I didn't grab the right one. I didn't realize that I still have the whistle on him too. All right, I gotta go back. I'm gonna let AI do this. We'll give AI another chance. Well, you did give him back his jersey, but he is still wearing a whistle and has a mic by his mouth. The original image does not. Because it's kind of funny if you look at this. Look. This image does not have, I mean, all I wanted him to do is take the line off. Same original image. I mean, the only thing it had to do was remove the line. It's like, just remove the line. Now I've had 2 additional updates that after he removed the line because it decided he needed to be wearing coach gear. Let's see. Are we mic free and whistle free and no new surprise elements? And he left the spots on his arm, but I'm not going to worry about that. I don't know why he's got spots on his arm. I mean, because I told him to put some different things, and he did. He gave them to the coach. He got spots on his arm, spots on his ear, which is great. But for some bizarre reason, he gave them to this guy too, which didn't have them in the original. All right, finally, no coach's gear. Yay! Well, we'll go like that. Try it again. All right, so we'll go open this up. And is this the one? Yeah. AI actions, remove background with paint. Oh, we're not even gonna. All right, that looks good. All right, so we're gonna go File, Save as PNG, and we'll just overwrite this one. And then we'll close this, and we'll make that go away. That's the problem. KoFi tries to remember what you did before. and it tries to blend them, even though you didn't ask it to blend them. It decides it needs to blend them. It's like, yeah, I think you want these to be blended. I'm like, no, did not ask you to blend them. But apparently, that makes no difference to you. Why are you doing that? All that to get a clown lab. I don't even. I mean, I'm sure there's some clown labs in. I mean, the odds are we get at least one clown lab on the team. So hopefully we're good. Now I got my coach. Let's go ahead and put my coach on here. Coach. And these are the clown lab coach. I'll have to rename both of these guys, I think. But this one's gonna have to be renamed. Just gotta be at lowercase. And then this one, I think, has to be also renamed. Clown Labs Coach. Nope, just Clown Labs. Oh, Clown Labs Pose. Yeah. Now I think I have the logo for Clown Labs already. Whoever they are. Who are the Clown Labs? Oops. Dang it. Dre. I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have the logo for them because I had them in here. I just wanted to clean it up. Yeah. Okay. So there. So I've got the giant canines and the Clown Labs completely. No, I don't have giant canine coach. I was going to do multiple, but let's clean up a couple of these. Let's go ahead and get a couple more that I already have. So we have the giant canines, who are Cincinnati Bengals, Blee. So I have Blee here, and I have the giant canines here, but I do not have a coach for the giant canines. So let's see here. Giant canines are, let's see what I got for them. All right, so these are my giant canines. This one doesn't have the bright dynamic highlights. I mean, he looks good. I mean, he does kind of have the rim lighting. Which one did I go with? Which one is the... Which one is the one I have? Let's do this one. Okay, I went with this guy. What's missing about this guy? I wonder if I can give him a little more depth and remove the outline, just like I did the last one. Let's try it. Let's see what I'm optimizing. I shouldn't be optimizing. That's not really a thing. You know what? I'm gonna go with a new chat because it just seems to have trouble when I give it previous stuff. By the way, you can run into your limit with Copilot. There is a limit to what Copilot will do, so it is possible it's gonna go. You've had enough changes for today. Can you give this guy a bit more depth without changing his level of detail? or a bit more depth without changing the level of detail, or so he pops a bit more. Also, remove the silver outline and enhance the dynamic lighting. Let's see what this does. Because if it can do a good job with that, like I said, I want my guys to have a 3D-esque feel to them. Because I'm going to have models. I mean, they're 3D models, right? So they should look kind of 3D-esque. And I think that'll make them pop more on the actual so what it's going to do, replace my white outline with yellow? Does he look more 3D-esque? I don't know. I mean, maybe a little. Kind of went back to the original look. Gave him gold dynamic lighting. I don't know why everything has to be dynamic. I don't know why it has to all be gold. Didn't really do much for his overall feel. I think he's better than the original version. But I don't know. I don't think he's that much more 3D-esque. I think that's about 3D-esque as he's going to get. I don't know. What do you think? Is that one better? It's definitely got a better background look, but if I remove the background, which I kind of probably will, I don't know. I'm not convinced that I like it more. It did embold. Let's see what this looks like without the background. We're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go to my, where to go? So we're gonna remove. Oops. Let's remove the background. Let's see what this looks like once we remove the background. Honestly, I'm still not convinced. It's still, my brain is like having trouble with the improvement. I don't know if he's an improvement or not. All right, so the giant canines are somewhere. Oh, nope. Where'd they go, man? I can't find them. Tighten reverse. Okay. Oh. I have another row. Here we go. So all right, I'll keep him, but I think it's a bit. It'll probably be good for the image, for the cards. It'll make him look a little bit more cool-ish. You know, he'll pop a little bit more against the background, and we'll let it go. we'll let it go. Whatever. So giant canines pose. We'll put him in here. So we got to delete this one. And then we'll go here and rename this one. Giant K9s pose. Now I need to get a coach version of him. Let's see if it can do it. So I'm going to go new chat just because it seems to be the thing. I need this same species of character, but just the bust dressed as a coach. Give him more. Whew, what happened? Something updated. Oh. What updated? Honestly, I can't tell. Something happened. Oh. Looks like, nope, I don't have any idea what just happened. It just took over my screen and flashed around a little bit, and then everything was fine, I guess. I don't know. That was just a weirdness. All right, man. I've been on for 2.5 hours, which is way longer than I planned to be. I got to get some other stuff done. I will be back later. Till then, God bless.